Hey there guys, welcome back. Maverick here today with another episode of Bocchi the Rock. So, last episode we got into, I guess, a little bit more serious sort of stuff, as serious as this series can be anyways, where they talk a little bit about their musical aspirations and their philosophy towards making music, right? Not too much, just a little bit more in depth, but I do feel like it's things like this that adds a lot of depth to an otherwise pretty cutesy and nichijou, like daily life kind of series here, where I mean, after all, it is a sort of spin-off from cute girls doing cute things, that type of genre of anime. But I always love it when they go a little bit deeper into the specifics, into the more professional kind of stuff, or more, I guess, more specialized kind of stuff, right? And by the way, I it seems that this series is actually doing quite well for the general public as well, which I am glad. I mean, I am a fan of this series, and it does have some big shoes to step into, right? Like I said before, K-On! And Bandori is a very beloved franchise as well, so it's nice to see that it is gaining some support. So with that in mind, well, let's just jump into the episode, right? Don't want to spoil anything. Let's get to it. All right, let's begin in three, two, one, play. What are we doing today? Oh, payday! In case anyone forgot, they're actually working here as part-timers in order to earn money for... No, they're not just here to earn money, right? They're earning money for a specific reason. Oh, that's about, what, $100? Maybe slightly less nowadays. The Japanese yen is quite weak. 80, $90 USD? There we go. You are getting way ahead of yourself, girl. uh, Loan sharks. I guess we're not. I guess we are going to be able to hear it later. Actually, it could be. It could be actually the ending, right? Now that we've seen that they are willing to change out the ending. Because like, oh, there's the flag. And of course, we're gonna have to have this kind of situation, eh? This song really has been. The more I listen to it, the more I'm kind of like addicted to it, to be honest. It's actually really well written. And actually, if I really, hmm, at least in my country, anyways, the way that it's written really gives off the sort of like indie vibe to it as well, which I feel like adds to the sort of like replayability of it. Now, obviously, it's at its core, it's still J rock. But I would say it's J rock mixed with a little bit of indie in there. And bear in mind, like indie music from the West is, I feel, quite different from indie music in the East. The way that it's structured and all that. An audition, basically. Mm. Obviously, you need to have the drama in like situation like this, right? Got to create some conflict. She's zombified. Yeah, she looked kind of like Sakura-chan from Renshushu, Zombieland Saga, and that's it. Really? Yeah, that's how things were supposed to go in the first place. I mean, theoretically, you still need to have like a basic level of skill there. Now, the problem is because in situations like this, you know, that's actually pretty good. Because it's not only them, right? They're going people who enter that place for that night. They listen to all the bands basically. Such an angel. Kita-chan really has the, in any other kind of in any other kind of series, she'd be the main. What? I don't remember this. Oh, that's true. The mop top hairstyle. Yeah, she's just dissing the entire indie scene here. Yeah, these are all growth for her. Right, right. It should be like a one episode kind of thing. She's like, no, I'm a Pepsi drinker. But seriously, she is a good leader. Hey, that's what she's been doing. Are they? I can't quite remember if they are actually going to talk a little bit. Ah, there we go. More like. Actually, I think even in the manga, she hasn't really spoken of her actual goal yet. But, if we're just to venture a guess, right? An educated guess, it's probably that, actually playing live, getting famous, going on a Budokan and whatnot. Those are stuff that kind of. How can I say? Those are kind of stuff that probably happens as she's going towards the goal, if you will. Guitar Solitude and the Blue Planet, eh? Are they actually going to play it? It's not exactly the hardest of songs, but okay, gets the job done. Really, I like these two so much as well. By the way, like I really enjoy the fact that they actually because she was too rigid, so she's throwing up. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Um, but yeah, I I really do. Yeah, I really do enjoy the fact that they played the full song and even had lyrics to go with it as well. Yeah, I remember in the manga, it was actually kind of just like a few panels of them playing, and we had that Bocchi sort of monologue as well, but having an actual song behind it really drives things up a lot more. Oh, I think I know it's. Yep. Mm. I s- I don't really like that translation there. It's more like I'm watching you properly or I'm watching you closely. Tough love, eh? Oh. I'll talk a little bit more about the actual performance at the end of this. Now, obviously, I'm glad that they put it in, and oh, here comes the next crisis. Haha, Imoto. Even a dog. Oh my god. Okay, so are we actually back to which song is this one? Oh, this one. All right, all right. So the same as last episode. Anyways, yeah, I don't think I need to listen to this once again. So I will see you guys after this. Alright, so that was another great episode. I'm glad that they actually have a whole new song directly. And you know what the best thing is? And this is something that I only found out later on, but apparently after each episode where they release a new song, it goes directly up to Spotify, the full version. And so I went in and listened to this newest song, which, guitar and loneliness and the Blue Planet and whatnot, whatever it's supposed to be called. And I mean, it's just great, right? You can instantly listen to it. So I will say though that I think compared to, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna really compare it to the other songs, but I will say this though. One of the so I think I commented during the episode that I felt like that it wasn't really a case where you can really show off the lead guitar's abilities. Now, granted, there was this little bit of a solo outro at the very end there, right? But I think to me the thing that really kind of made me chuckle was that right as we were getting to the climax, right, and where everybody was like, "Whoa, Bochi-chan is really good." That was actually like the least. That was actually the least complex part out of all of Bocchi's part, right? Like if you listen to the verses, she's off doing her own thing. She's playing lead, right? And she's playing actual lead, and that means that she's not just doing some basic chords and whatnot. There is actually a lead section in there that basically, again, if you have earphones or earbuds, listen to your right ear. She's going off there, whilst Kita-chan is just doing some basic maybe power chords or chords, something like that, and basic strokes, right? Whereas Bocchi is just off doing her own thing. But when they get actually into the chorus parts, actually, both the lead guitar and the rhythm guitar kind of melds together into much more of a rhythm section, right? It's rhythmly based. So I just thought it was quite funny that they chose that time to be like, whoa, she's really good, when in actuality that's probably like, no, not in probability. It actually is the least complex part in the entire song, right? So that actually, I don't know, I found that to be very funny. And another thing that really, I don't know, I guess I'm kind of ruined by it is that so obviously, even though they are taking a lot of care and effort into this anime here, right? I feel like this is an adaptation of Love, but still, especially when it comes to instrument playing, I guess I've been kind of spoiled by all the other great anime that have come before. So when the fingerings and the strumming really doesn't match what they're actually playing, it really bothers me a lot, right? And not only that, but also the drumming and stuff as well. I mean, it's like, honestly, 95-99% of people probably aren't going to catch it, but for those who do play the guitar or do drum or whatnot, it kind of stands out, right? I will say though, I did enjoy them at least offering some different perspectives, right? They even have the camera angle where it's kind of like looking down from the headstock. It's commonly used when when you have a guitar, you put a GoPro at the very top of it on your headstock, and then if you look down, it'll grow across your entire guitar, and of course you playing it as well. So they actually chose that kind of angle, which I thought was quite neat, right? Once again, a sort of like reflection of reality as well. Beyond that, the song itself, to be honest, like, even though the focus here is obviously on Bocchi, I do want to bring attention to Kita-chan, right? Because I think not people don't understand how hard it is. Like, how, granted, her parts are easier than Bocchi's, right? Don't get me wrong, but people don't understand how hard it is to actually sing and play at the same time. And coming from like a complete beginner, and it's not like she was completely only doing some strumming stuff and chord stuff. She was playing single notes as well. So I really have to give a huge shout out to Kita-chan. More than anything else, I think Kita-chan impressed me here rather than Bocchi. Although I think part of it is also because we as viewers, or me as a viewer, I already know what Bocchi is capable of. So I feel like, of course, you could argue that she's overcoming her sort of insecurities, right? She's playing in a band, but I know that to her, anyways, to presumably what she's capable of, this is child's play. Actually, like, if she was practicing this alone, she'd be able to ace it like immediately. This is not really that hard of a song. But yeah, anyways, that's not the main point here. I do like and another thing that I want to bring attention to is really like sort of how Kita, I don't know, like, why. Obviously, the main character is Bocchi, right? But man, like, Kita's voice. No, she just sings so differently from how we normally see her as this sort of like bubbly, very uplifting, cheerful kind of personality, right? And added the fact that she's singing Bocchi's lyrics, which are quite introspective, quite gray, quite solemn in a way, right? It makes it even more appealing, if you will. So honestly, out of the four in this episode and for this song, I think Kita-chan stood out the most to me, more than anything else. But that's just how it is, right? Obviously, they didn't really go through the steps of purposely playing it like a little bit off, in order to sort of like emulate the fact that they might be more of a novice band. They definitely, when you're starting out, when you're playing live, you definitely aren't as tight in terms of your playing, in terms of your timings and whatnot. But it seems that they just basically put the CD version of it into, or the recorded version as as the background music here. So we didn't really get that kind of a vibe here, which would have been cool actually, like to maybe show them like maybe playing it just a little bit offbeat or maybe just a little bit out of tune or whatnot, or out of sync with each other, and then once we get into the chorus part, really all tightening up and really driving things along. I think that would have been cool as well, but maybe that would have been a little bit too much to ask, because they would have had to re-record that as well, which some anime does do, right? I will say that here. Some anime does do that. Some do that. Does do that. Weird grammar here. Like Bandery, for example. They actually do that. I recall some other music anime does that as well. And it gives a very authentic kind of feeling, I have to say. But anyways, that's it. And the song itself, great as usual. The standout part to me is still the lyrics more than anything, but I'll give it a few more listens. Like I said, it is out on Spotify and various other streaming services as well, so you guys can go and enjoy it. Beyond that, another important thing here, like obviously we have the entire sister tough love kind of thing, that's and the gags and whatnot. I'm not going to touch too much on that. The other thing I'd like to point out is, once again, the sort of, what brings this kind of series depth, right? There's been, of course, many anime or many music works in the past where, you always kind of go through the same thing, right? You want to aim for a specific kind of performance, you want to aim for a specific kind of, you always want to aim for the Budokan or whatnot, as realistic or unrealistic, I should say, it may be. But still, it's kind of like things that bands go through, right? Here, I do get the feeling that it's not quite necessarily, what they have in mind is not necessarily, just to be famous and wow people with their playing abilities and whatnot. Instead, it kind of, again, I don't really know. I don't really think it's actually been revealed yet. At least I don't think so, or maybe I've just kind of forgotten. But I do feel that probably, especially with a name as Kesoku Band, the kind of band that they want to form is definitely not really oriented towards having any specific genre of music or having anything to do with getting however famous or playing large gigs, or some bands form together for different reasons, right? And the bands that you do hear about, right, on the radio or those that go mainstream, they typically have their own opinion on the music that they play, or they have something that keeps them together, right? And in this case, I do enjoy the fact that they are trying to push towards that as well, which is definitely not necessarily something that you can say for most. Well, can I actually say that? Let me think a little bit. For K-On, K-On was basically very, very simple, right? They just wanted to make memories with each other. They just wanted to have this solid group of friends to do, like, obviously they aimed for Budokan and whatnot, but that was never really a realistic goal, right? It was more like the camaraderie between the girls. For Bang Dream, yeah, they do have a specific goal in mind. The main protagonist, Kasumi, obviously she wants to shine. She wants to continue to get excited by music, if you will, and go from there. And they each have their own reasons, but that's kind of how it goes. Here, it's definitely interesting as well. Like, what exactly are they aiming for? Why do they want to do this? Because you can't really go through it half-heartedly, right? You need to have something that drives you forward. Now, don't get me wrong, this could very well be still, their aspirations is still just to make friends and just to have a place where they can vibe with each other. And that would be perfectly fine, but they need to all be on board with that concept as well. So, really looking forward to how they, when they eventually reveal that. Beyond that, let's see. Is there anything else I'd like to talk about for this episode? Not that much. Obviously, next episode, they need to go around and earn their quotas. And for Bocchi-chan, well, that is one more crisis she is gonna have to get over. But, yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything. So, let's just leave it at that. And I will see you guys next time as well. Thank you, guys. See you. Bye-bye.